Hey, Shabbat Shalom everyone, and also happy Lag BaOmer. Throughout the world, Jews are celebrating this 33rd day of the Omer count, because this is the day that the students of Rabbi Akiva, the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva, stopped dying. And I never understood this. Unfortunately, we have so much destruction, persecution, death, and suffering in Jewish history, and yet we only have one day all year to commemorate all of Jewish tragedy, and that of course is Tisha B'Av. Right? There was even a controversy after the Shoah, after the Holocaust, whether to have a separate day to commemorate the Holocaust, because we had a catch-all day called Tisha B'Av in the summer, where we commemorate all Jewish destruction and tragedy, and yet we have 32 days. 32 days. I mean, I'm not going to count the 33rd because that's today of celebrating on Lag BaOmer. But we have 32 days where we mourn the death of these great students of Rabbi Akiva. How is it that other events in Jewish history, the Spanish Inquisition, the Chmielnicki pogroms, they don't even get a day? And the death of the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva get 32. And the best answer I've ever heard is that we are not simply mourning the death of 24,000 students. Of course, that would warrant mourning, but as I say, other events that had greater losses did not get that. What we're mourning on these 32 days, and I guess what we're celebrating today on Lag BaOmer, is the hope for the Mashiach. You see, Rabbi Akiva, the great Talmudic sage, who lost all those students because they didn't show proper respect one to the next. Rabbi Akiva believed that Bar Kokhba, who was this great nationalistic hero who was fighting off the Roman yoke of oppression, he believed that Bar Kokhba was the Mashiach. And my teacher, Rabbi Grumblat, explained that although Bar Kokhba himself was not a religious personality, Rabbi Akiva thought that if he took all of his thousands of students, all of his Talmidim, all of his Torah scholars, and he put his whole religious movement behind this secular nationalistic movement called the Bar Kokhba revolt against the Romans, that he could make out of Bar Kokhba a Mashiach. You see, Bar Kokhba's real name was Bar Koziba. He was nicknamed Bar Kokhba by Rabbi Akiva because the word Kochav, Kochva from Kochav, means a star. And there's a verse in the prophets that a star will shoot out from the sky when the Mashiach comes, because Rabbi Akiva wanted to make out of Bar Kokhba's nationalistic movement, to throw off the Roman oppression. He wanted to do something even greater with it. Not just a movement of Jewish self-defense, but a movement to bring the Messiah. Unfortunately, that failed, because within the Jewish community itself, within Rabbi Akiva's own students, they weren't showing proper respect. They couldn't get it together themselves, let alone inspire some other movement. And the parallels to what's happening today in the world are incredible, because we have the modern day Bar Kokhbas who have defended successfully the Jewish people against all other nations on earth, and in particular the rough neighborhood in the Arab world in the Middle East. And that, of course, is the great Zionists. And we have the opportunity now to infuse Zionism with the same kind of religious passion and fervor that Rabbi Akiva tried to inspire the Bar Kokhba movement with, and to make out of it a messianic redemption. Failed back then 2,000 years ago, but today on Lag BaOmer, when we're celebrating the 33rd day, when the students stop dying, it's a reminder to us to never stop working on Israel and inspiring Zionism to become something even more than simply Jewish self-defense, but ultimately the coming of the Mashiach. Shabbat Shalom and happy Lag BaOmer.